guys, back again for Tuesday's lesson. So yesterday we looked at features of an instructional text. Today we're going to plan our one. All right, so it's quite a simple lesson today. So now we know what an instructional text is written for and what features it contains, we can start to plan our own one. So this week we're going to be writing instructions based on last week's science experiment. So how to make that egg drop lander, which you did on Thursday. And here's your success criteria again. I'm not going to read that all out because we talked about it last lesson, but you can have a look through that again. Now up here it says add the planning sheet. That's because I'm filming this on Wednesday and you're going to be doing your science experiment tomorrow on Thursday. Now, your planning sheet won't be ready until the experiment's done. So when it comes to you actually doing this task on Tuesday, don't worry, this will be in your documents and it will also be in the flip charts. All right, it's just not here for my video, that's all. So you're going to have to think about what information would be interesting for the introduction. And then think about your key vocabulary that you want to add and your strong imperative verbs, remember those bossy verbs. And those adverbs to describe how to do something. Give the reader that extra information. Remember, it should be written in second person because you're talking to your reader. You might not use the word you, but you're still, when you're giving those bossy verbs, pour, put, take, you're talking to your reader, aren't you? Important. You will need to justify why your instructions will lead to a successful outcome. So you need to tell the reader at each stage why it will work. So we need some extended sentences, maybe with parentheses sometimes, or a subordinate clause to add that extra information. So I've got an example here. I'm going to do an example with making tea. So I'm not going to do your, excuse me, your egg landers. I'm going to be doing it on making tea. Okay, so remember, note form for planning, do not need full sentences. But I've got here my introduction. So my introduction, I'm thinking I need to bring in somewhere the fact that we're going to make tea. So I might introduce tea. I think I would say something about tea being loved by Brits, so people from Britain. So starting by just talking about tea in general. Then I think I would have something about people making tea in different ways. Because everyone tends to make tea differently. Sometimes people pour the milk in before they add the hot water. Sometimes they pour it in afterwards. And then I think I would also introduce my task as to what I was going to do. So I'm just going to pop that. I'm just going to say introduce or introduce task. Key vocabulary. I think I'd have things like teapot. I might have carefully. What else might I have? Teaspoon. But you get the idea. Your key vocabulary, your key word bank that you're going to need there. So yours will obviously be different because you're not writing about making tea. So here I'm going to use the photographs, which is what you guys will have, photographs of your experiment, to choose the best imperative verb for each step. So here, this example, by the way, is showing it with tea leaves rather than a tea bag. So here I'm measuring out the tea leaves. So I would use measure. That would be my bossy verb. I'm telling them what to do, measure. So I'm going to put that here. And then here I've got, it looks like it's being left to sit for a little while. So I think I would say leave That is my bossy verb, my imperative verb. That's what I'm telling them to do. And then lastly, it looks like the tea's being poured out into the cups or the mugs. So my bossy verb would be pour, because that's what I'm telling them to do. That's what you're going to do with yours. Come up with your bossy verbs for each one, okay? And it might be good for you guys to think of any extra information you might want to put in. So I'm going to say measure there, and I might say careful as another reminder to say that I want to say careful not to spill any, is a bit of parenthesis maybe. All right? And then you've got your conclusion as well. Would the reader like to find out more? Where could they find out more information? And just some ideas as to what you can include. So down there, I might write, there are many tea varieties to try. So I'm just going to put many tea varieties. And then I'm going to say, give a few a try and let me know your favourites. Okay, so there is my plan in note form, but I've given myself, I know what I'm doing, I know what's going in my introduction, I know what my steps are, and I know what's going in my conclusion. That's what you guys need to achieve today. So, that's your task. You've got that planning sheet that's not there at the moment, but will be in your documents, all right? So you can go and get that and plan on there. You don't have to, you can just plan in your book or on a piece of paper, that's absolutely fine too. Remember to look back at your success criteria. So you labelled, you numbered them, didn't you, yesterday, from 1 being very easy to 11 being tricky, the trickiest thing to get in. So choose one from 9 to 11, so the hardest last 3, and find a place in your plan where you are going to try and put it in. So for myself, if I said, modal verb, maybe I might say that would be number 9. I would then go to my plan. Remember, modal verbs tells me degrees of possibility. Might, may, could, would. Maybe I would say here, where it's talking about pouring, I might say could use a mug or a cup. That's your choice. So I've got could there, and that's where I would be using my modal verb that I've got in from my success criteria. Okay, so that's your task for today. All right, make sure that you go and look at this one as well. Just checking that's everything. Yeah. So as of the end of this lesson, you should have a plan that you can then use tomorrow to start writing. Okay? All right, fab work, guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning. All right, thanks. Take care. Bye.